I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know what happened, but I think it's now fine. Yeah, Mac, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's just
Uh,
completely stopped.
Okay.
I was going to say, this is what you get for getting in bed with Popper. Everything gets messed up.
Yep. You just popped off. But anyway, we're here. How's everyone doing?
Going good. Just been pretty busy. Going to be even more busy coming up to Christmas, but good.
Oh yeah, jingle bells time, definitely. Mac, how are you doing? I think you already have snow. Do you have snow too, Brandon?
Yep,
I did, yes.
we both
Ah,
got hit heavy with that storm.
It honestly, I don't know about Brandon, but where I live, it is absolutely beep 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 beep, beep freezing.
Yeah, it's freezing over here.
oh yeah, I know. Like, did you do any snow fights or anything, or
No,
did
yeah,
you build
no.
a snowman?
No, I honestly didn't have that much snow. It didn't settle because it rained just before, so the snow didn't settle. Thank
We've
Yeah,
got
I know.
plenty. There's actually there's a pub. I'm not sure where. It's somewhere near me. Well, not near me, but it's somewhere in the area. It's been snowed in actually for 3 days. Like the people are trapped inside, so
Oh,
Oh,
not doing
that's.
too bad.
I've heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
on the news.
I hope they get out of there. Like that, I know. Like this kind of calamities, like when it rains too much or snows too much, like stuff like that happens. Yeah. But anyway, stay safe and enjoy the snow weather. And I'm glad this time it's snowing earlier. Before Christmas. Good.
Honestly, I don't. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it were raining tomorrow, and then it were thunderstorms the next day after that, and then sunny again, boiling hot weather. This country's terrible for weather.
Oh yeah.
if you go to
I know. Like
Kennedy,
yeah. I know the classic, classic British weather. Like it's raining now, and just after that, it's sun out, and then it's raining again. I watched lots of cricket matches, just getting cancelled, and they're just coming to the pitch. It's sunny, and then it's raining again. So yeah, it's pretty unpredictable. Pretty
Yes.
much unpredictable. I know, but yeah, just enjoy that. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have I think Mac. Did you play Hostel Story?
No.
I know you didn't
No.
play. I didn't mean to phrase the question that way. Brandon, did you play Hostel Story?
no, I've been very busy. I've got a lot of deadlines coming up, so I haven't really had time to jump on and read it yet.
Oh yeah. I think then I wouldn't like to spoil it for you, but
Yeah, because I know it's technically finished now, isn't it? That's the last chapter
yeah,
that came out.
yeah, it's finished, and we also lived through more potential deaths.
Oh, shocker.
Yep.
What was it you told me? We get. Do you want me to tell him or just not?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh, yes, Mr. Brandon. Okay.
No, that's all right. I'm not telling him. Yeah.
Brandon, he's asking to you.
I know. Shh. Anywho, so what have we been reading?
To me, I've been reading Episode and Lovesick, and that's about it.
I've been reading choices. I read Hostel Story a lot of times. There were lots of multiple endings, and I was sick last Sunday. I completed the Impossible Game, and I'm making progress with Project Prometheus. And there's another app called Story. So there's a story called Sing for Me. I'm pretty much liking that. And in choices, I like Shipwrecked. What else? The Unexpected Heiress, and Queen Bee and Wolf Bride.
Yeah, I think I've been reading. I know, obviously, the one I'm keeping up with is Queen Bee, and then I read Surrender, and then I watched Fish Day stream Surrender. That was very interesting, to say the least. If she doesn't come out with a Twitch DMCA ban, I'll give her props for it. Since the amount of stuff they ban you for on Twitch and YouTube is a joke. What else? Don't think there's not much else. Don't think.
Nope.
I know Slow Burn's coming out of VIP sometime in the next few
No.
months.
No, yeah, first they will release Mismatch, then Slow Burn.
Mm. I know there's another one. Yeah. Shipwrecked is coming to a close. I still haven't got off chapter like 5 or something.
Yeah.
Nothing much else.
So,
I've been reading episode, and I've also been thinking about maybe writing some of my own little stories
fanfics?
as well. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's not interesting.
Yeah.
Send me this way. Send those stories this way. All of that.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much going on for a while. I mean, we've got Queen Bee.
Yep.
Wake the Dead. That's spice up to be good. I haven't caught up on that yet.
Mhm.
I need to catch up. What else?
You're not caught up with Wake the Dead?
No, I've been trying to plan because I haven't said anything yet. But I have. Well, I'm arranging to do like a quad. Say, where's a quad? Yeah, a quad stream of Wake the Dead with Eric, Kat, and Fishty going through it, and I'm still trying to suss out how I'm going to do that.
Okay. So you want to read it on stream?
Yeah, like a stream group reading thing. But I need to try and suss out how we're going to do it because on its release date, I want to do a few chapters, but of course the book's, not even fully out yet. Not to mention the timing of when everyone can do it. It's just it's back and forth. May have to do 2 chapters. I wanted to do 3. May have to do 2. Don't know. We'll have to figure it out a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now last week you haven't read Hostel Story, so that pretty much leaves us with
With what?
where do you want to start? I mean, where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start with Queen Bee or some of the books? Like, what do you want?
I guess we can start with Queen Bee.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the chapter actually. It was a the introduction was really weird for me. It's like you bop in and you just see that you're in a farm. You're not in Belvoir, you're just in a farm, and it's like, okay, context, please.
Move.
Oh god, just don't be stealing my puns.
Yeah, this chapter was really awesome, good. I think this chapter was as close as to the first book as it could have been. More drama and like the whole nonsensical stuff that happens in Queen Bee universe. This chapter is everything. I felt like it's after a long time. I'm really again seeing the Queen Bee book 1 getting in this Queen Bee book 2 in this chapter 10. I liked it, and it ended with a cliffhanger. That was interesting.
Yeah, Ina
I think,
has found out another X minion, and apparently it's somebody.
I
What is
think I have an idea.
Who do you think it is?
Lexi.
Lexi. Oh, we said it at the same time. Yeah, because who else Ina knows of or Ian knows of? It's only Lexi again. It's pretty
Which
obvious.
one's Lexi again?
The creepy stalker
Oh, the
who
stalker,
likes.
yeah. I could see why you think that, but that could be a 50-50 chance, I think. It's like I liked how one of my favorite chapters was the little thing with Ina where it was like a little, the ideal world of just them two together in a more simple
Loved
life.
Loved
Yeah,
it. Loved it.
that was a really good scene.
I had a feeling before the chapter started, like whether I should really go hard on Zoe from now on, as a love interest or
When we
what,
actually
because
get to see
they
her
were just
and
pushing
actually,
for
actually the love interest to her.
Yeah, go on. What?
When we actually get the chance to actually be a love interest to her.
Yeah, like I was thinking maybe in this chapter we'll be given this option to maybe choose between Zoe or Professor. I was thinking maybe I should go along with Zoe because with the Professor we've been getting more or less, like hookup scenes so far. But this was wow. I changed my mind because the way it was, I mean, she was called Professor Dreamy, and that was some dream, man. I mean, I liked the music, and I mean, personally for me, I can say no to the life the Professor was dreaming of because I love those kind of ranch and just like Big Sky Country is one of my favorite books. So
Can I just ask you something stupid? Do you know
yeah,
when we
yeah,
got to the scenes? Well, it's
Yeah.
asking you something. Yeah. we got to choose between Zoe and Ina. Did you know, if I'm not wrong, if I'm correct, sorry, that when you get to choose for them scenes, you got to have a hookup with Ina, but not with Zoe?
In the last chapter, right? But I
Yeah, I
mean,
saw
the
it.
chapter before the last chapter.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot to mention that, and I thought that was a bit,
Nah, you love to see it.
excuse me?
Yeah, that's a bit unfair.
You love to see Zoe being mistreated as the ally. Come on.
No way.
Oh
No.
yeah, yep. I mean, I do understand. She's a equal love interest, but the people who like Zoe, they are not getting much time with her, except when our main character is strategizing with Zoe. Then there are some sexual foreplays, but other than that, not much with Zoe. So I will agree with you on that.
One thing I'll say is, regardless of how this chapter went with Chloe and Celine, I'm not ruling either of them out just because they were conveniently sabotaged. I'm not ruling either of them out.
To be honest, I mean, I know the spoilers are out and we've been spoiled, but if I hadn't known better, I'd have said Celine. I mean, Chloe was sabotaging, or Chloe's condition was genuine. Poppy's condition was genuine, but Celine, we didn't even know, and we still don't know if Celine had those things she claimed to have for auction, and she just started crying, and people started donating for her, giving
Sorry.
money to her fund.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. It's a bit convenient, man.
But probably she's no one.
No.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm not too sure though, to be honest. Could go 50-50, but like I said, it could still be either of them. I'm not counting anybody out. I really am curious to see who this minion is that Ina's found out. I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm not too sure about Lexi, but I'm thinking somebody. Like, what if it's that? What if it's that teacher from the first book? Do you remember? I can't remember her name.
Who was in our posse?
Yeah, the one who was in the posse.
I don't think she could betray us.
Is it Penelope?
I think that's the name. You took her out to a brunch diamond scene with her and Zoe. I remember.
Oh,
Yeah, she's like a hairstyle, like a bun on her head or something.
Yeah, her.
Yeah. I don't think she can. We have hardly seen her, to be honest.
I know, but still, things
remember
could have changed.
Yeah, could be.
There's all sorts of possibilities.
And what about? I want to know what you two think. What about Veronica? Veronica's on the book cover, but she's like MIA. I mean, we saw her, not her personality as much developed. I mean, what's up with Veronica? I mean,
She's a stream nerd, isn't she? I doubt she'd stab us in the back because her main interest is in live streaming, and she gets the most content from us for the most part. I doubt she. I mean, she's got nothing to gain from siding with X, so I highly doubt it'd be her. I think it might be somebody. It could be somebody from the posse, because the way it's said,
Veronica
I can't believe it.
The posse.
I mean, it could be Lexi. It could be the posse. It could be anybody really.
Yeah.
Could be somebody from the one of the footballers.
I think as well, like, who's this person we're going to recruit? Because the ones we've seen so far, I can't see it being any of those.
The person who is going to come at last in the hit list.
Yeah, I think, isn't it the hacker? I'm correct? You haven't seen her yet?
Could be. Like, we don't have much information to that, I guess.
Nope. Pardon me.
Who could be X? That's like, that's a main plot right now. It's an interesting thing. Yeah. But I like to track back to where were we? I like that scene, Diamond scene of the professor. I think after chapter 2, in the lakeside scene, after that scene, this chapter was, this scene was a scene where we really connected with the professor as a love interest. I love that did that in a bonding. I really love that.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to have a more relaxed scene. Like, I mean, I'm not complaining about having steamy scenes, but I think it's a lot. It's a lot more. What's the word? It's a lot more real in a way.
Yeah,
And it's you know
yeah, yeah,
it's
because
nice to
we
see
had yeah.
these moments.
Yeah, because you have had the hookup since a lot of times, so it's good sometimes to like unwind and to for a relationship to be more mature and successful, you need to have like this kind of a dreams or like where you're gonna be from 5 years from now. So I think that was really good, and the way it was done, like away from all the drama. And personally, for me, I mean, I as I like the life that they described there, it was really close to my heart. So I'm really glad that.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's nice to have these little moments, and I'm really curious to see what comes up next. And the next chapter, I think it's going to be really good on Wednesday. Yeah, or on Monday. I
Yep.
think it's going to be really good on Wednesday.
100%.
So, what really stood out for you in this chapter, both of you? What would you say is the thing that stood out for you?
Well, for me, like I said, for me it was the it was the talk of an actual real end with the professor. I guess like a real look at having a possible life outside of Belvoir and just the simple
Seconded,
life.
seconded. What about you, man?
Well, not that, but do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bit hard for me to say this because obviously I read it as soon as it came out, but I've been that much into a different app. I can't exactly say because I can't exactly remember what. I'm not even going to lie here. What exactly happened? I know I say this every week, but I genuinely can't remember what actually happened. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do remember now. Sorry. I think what stood out to me the most was probably just the way, like you said, like where you just got. I think it was Brandon who said this. Where it literally the thing just started on a farm. I thought, what the hell? Where did this come from? I didn't think we'd start like this. And probably the scene with Saline where she acted extremely sus. That's what I can remember about it. That's
Yeah.
literally it.
With the auctioning, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
like where. Yeah, I just can't explain it to be honest with you. I'm just not exactly in the right
I,
mind of
I get
state,
you.
not in the
I
right
get you. I
state.
get you. I get you. Yeah, but both the scenes I think were really interesting. Like the one you said, Brandon, with the professor, I liked it personally, but also the saloon one. That one. You can't just let
Yeah.
it go. I also had a hunch feeling about it. Like, is it kind of and I don't know. It seemed kind of weird.
Yeah, but isn't she the only one who didn't have any symptoms or whatever it was?
Which one?
Yeah.
Saline she didn't have any symptoms, did she?
Symptoms for what?
Being sick, being.
Oh, no, I don't think
I
so.
don't. No, I don't think she did. No, something's just up about that to me. I know we say this every week, 'cause I'm suspicious of her anyway, but this just screams something's up. But yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, this is getting interesting as it's coming to an end. 6 more chapters to go, so let's see what happens. Fingers
Could be
crossed.
6 more chapters. Could be more.
I don't
I
think
I
there's more.
yeah.
I'm not saying there is going to be a book 3, but there is a
Mm,
possibility. But
yeah.
that's 50-50
Yeah,
chance. I mean, we thought it might be a 50 chance on TNA, but then they dropped the whole Addison thing on us last minute, and then that just kind of
Yeah.
now we're getting a book that just instantly shot out for
yeah,
book 3. So it could go
yeah,
either way. That we
but
get book 3.
yeah, yeah, but book three is like that's definitely a question for that will get answered later half. But for book
Probably
two,
a wedding
I
book.
think it will have 16 chapters, right? Book two.
Uh,
I don't actually know.
yeah, it should do. 16 chapters. It
Yeah.
should do
16, so 6 more
theoretically.
chapters. That's interesting. January 6th, then it will end. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I think that's Queen Bee book two. Do you have anything else to add, either of you?
Nope.
No.
Any other special observations you made in this chapter?
No, I really didn't.
Oh,
Pardon me.
interesting. Okay. Okay, so moving on. What else did you read after Queen Bee?
That fucking sorry for swearing, but that dumpster trash of Surrender.
Yeah,
Surrender.
surrender.
I am
What else?
so sorry. But
Okay, so
let me ask you to a
what?
question. Let me ask you to a question. Let me tell you to do something. You go and send a picture of a whip to somebody you've only just met and say, "Have you been a good girl?" or whatever it says. I'm like, what, excuse me? Are you sick in your mind? You can you hear me?
Mac?
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
here.
Can you repeat your question from the beginning? I think that was not here for some reason, so you have to start again. I'm sorry.
I said, why don't you two go and send a picture of a whip and caption it? Have you been a good girl or boy or whatever to somebody you've only just met? I like I, like I just I spoke to you last night about it, and honestly, I am absolutely livid. Honestly, I just absolutely hated that chapter. Okay. I'm going to send you to a picture of Whip and saying, "Oh, have you two been good boys?" And what would you think?
Please don't.
Exactly. It's just honestly, and I think as well, from my point, and a lot of people have said, and I said it in the group chat to you as well. The amount of people who ever genuinely hate it, and the people who do like it are only being sarcastic to annoy people. It is an absolute joke. And as well, somebody commented. I don't know if you saw it. Sorry, I'm going to ramble on here. Choices only actually replied to ones what were accepting the book, and like somebody like enjoying the book, but like somebody replied to say, "Sorry, I've actually got the screenshot here. Sorry, I will get it up now. Sorry about this." Choices game. Why only reply to positive comments? Why never reply to a concerns or valid and polite critique or criticism? But are many of your fans who players who are very concerned about this book and you haven't replied to any of us? And then put, hi, we have noticed and jolted them down, blah, 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 blah. I hope your team have understand how harmful and downright dangerous this book and their research is. And unless the book is pulled or cancelled, which I think it will, that's me saying that, sorry, I will believe anybody's really listening to the points being made. This will never
Not happening.
be a good idea, and based on all the feedback I'm seeing, the majority of your audience don't want it. So I don't understand how this even got written, let alone released.
Okay.
Amen.
I highly doubt they would cancel a book out of circulation just because it starts off bad. Obviously, they still have
Second.
time to change it up. Yes, it's had a rough start. It's had a rough start, but still, they're not just gonna, it's gonna go nuts. And I can see from a point why, like, because the way I see it is there's just a difference between criticism and giving feedback and then just moaning and complaining, like they won't listen to downright hate.
Well, that's the point. That's obviously they won't listen to me. That's not what I'm saying. On the comments, do you see choices physically? You've seen the post? Yes or no? Yes. Right. Have you seen the ones that are generally not criticising but feedback saying it's not a good representation? Have you seen choices reply to a comment? What I've not down I'm doing. I know I'm sorry for this, but it's just made me sick. Do you see choices doing that?
I agree on that. There were comments that were. I mean, there are two sides to the story. First side, even before the book dropped, there were complaints and concerns about too many erotic genre books, and just after Nanny Affair ended, there's Old Pride, there's other books, and now then, so there was a concern about romance, sex books, and on the other hand, there was a concern when the book dropped. There were lots of critiques there before the book was released, but after the book was released, it was a different ball game. It was there was some people talking about more sex books, romance books, but even the people who liked romance books or sex books, or they even played some of the sex stories, like we played Honeywood, but that was what they had there. It some people felt like that was like a predatory and not safe, and most of all, the BDSM community. Some people said it does not represent the BDSM community really well, and it was just, at some point they felt not a good representation. They didn't have the proper facts or how it's actually done, and it ended up being just a comedy. So that's what I think of a fair criticism, because I don't think choices who wrote or how they did, they have enough information about it. I certainly don't have any knowledge about it. But if there's concern, and I have read the comments personally, and these particular comments, they were really fair, saying like this is not the proper representation. I think in that case, choices. I know the people who work for the team, maybe they don't have any idea about the BDSM, but they should clarify it in their socials, like do a Q&A, like communicate like why it's happening. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense why you put out a the social media, you update them. I think that was a valid point, because critique is a critique.
Yep.
With swearing is not good, but in a respectful way, they can. Someone said the diversity in covers, the diversity in trailers. I think there are a lot of critiques, and I agree that choices does need to get at those. And even if some are really rude at some point, but I believe like as a company who wants to make progress, they need to see what's happening. Like they need to go through and just bleep out those insults and see if there is anything valuable there. Otherwise, just filter everything out and don't use it. So I would say like reply to everything as
Yep.
much as possible.
Right.
Not
Can I
they,
just
yeah, not they, but
second?
take the questions to the team and then put another blog post answering those questions or something. I think that would be really helpful. They do that, but they need to really they do that with some genuine queries, or some fans asking, but they really need to answer to some critiques or criticism in this case. That would make it even choices better. I guess a lot of people like it.
Yeah. Can I just add
Yeah.
something quick?
Yeah,
I know I went off one on there, and obviously, like I said to you last night, I was just talking to you, and that's like I said.
yeah,
I obviously know I have different opinions to others. I say it quite as it is. I'm open minded. I just say it as it is, and sometimes I do go off rambling. But the moral of the story is, if that's what people are into, if that's what people are into, I'll agree with that. But you know what the old saying is?
If you
Sex
don't,
sells.
what was that saying again? Sorry, kind of cut out.
Sex sells.
Ah, yeah. I was gonna say, but go back to what you were talking about. Respectable's comments. It's like that's one thing that immediately gets like that's one thing that you immediately focus on. It's like that's the one thing as well. They most people just don't know how to like. So yeah, they might be enraged or they might be a little annoyed. No, okay, why be enraged in a story? It's not like it's supposed to be directly offensive, but it's like if you can't appeal and do it in a respectable manner, then it's like, what are you doing? It's like, personally, yeah, if you're mad, I don't see how you can't not respond in a respectable manner. And I get why you've just got to go like just waffling a bunch of unnecessary hate and moaning. It's like you're not going to get anywhere. That's just being pathetic.
yeah. I would double down on that. There is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
guy
that's
I was.
fine. But
I mean, yeah,
I'm not trying to start arguments here. But if the kind of Anea band said, if they're replying to the comments what are good about it, that's fine. But if they're replying to why shouldn't we reply to the comments what are genuine critiquing and doing it in a respectful manner?
hey,
Hi, hello.
hey. Let me just suggest something.
Okay,
Huh. Yep. Just a second.
okay.
I'm just using the dark mode, and I can see anything here.
God, just waiting for the PC to shut down.
Yeah.
There we
I've
go.
sent the link to Brandon. Yeah, I have. Hey, welcome, Mac.
Brandon's not joining.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
Sure is. Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Okay, I gotta turn off the dark mode. I can't see anything. Just hold on. Yeah.
Got nothing to hold on to.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
But y'all are gone. I mean, I can't see you. What happened?
What do you mean?
We're invisible.
Yeah, it says you're the first one here, but I can hear you. That's pretty strange. Do you want me to end it? Because I don't know how it's gonna work.
I mean, if the audio's coming through, it should be fine.
Yeah, oh, so wait a second. I'm going to invite you again. I really don't know genuinely what's happening. Okay, just wait a second.
Okay.
You can still hear?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I ended the recording. I mean, how? How's it happening even?
Magic.
Oh, yeah. Devil's deal, I guess. Okay, I'm inviting again. Join through this link. Even though you're here, it's pretty
Right.
strange. I don't know what's happening, but yeah. Did you get an invite?
Let's check my tab. Nope.
Whoa, wait. I'm sending you some invites. Wait. Oh, shit. Is is Brandon here?
Is that better?
I can hear you. Just wait a second.
You broke
I
it.
don't know what's going on. Wow, what's happening?
You broke it.
I can't. I can't open Instagram.
This is what
Pretty
happens when
strange.
you get in bed with Poppy.
Oh, I can't finally. Hey, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know what happened, but I think it's now fine. Yeah, Mac, you there? Okay. Yep. You just popped off. But anyway, we're here. How's everyone doing? Oh yeah, jingle bells time, definitely. Mac, how are you doing? I think you already have snow. Do you have snow too, Brandon? Uh, interesting. Oh yeah, I know. Like, did you do any snow fights or anything, or did you build a snowman? Yeah, I know. Interesting. Oh, that's. I hope they get out of there. Like that, I know. Like this kind of calamities, like when it rains too much or snows too much, like stuff like that happens. Yeah. But anyway, stay safe and enjoy the snow weather. And I'm glad this time it's snowing earlier. Before Christmas. Good. Oh yeah. I know. Like yeah. I know the classic British weather. Like it's raining now, and just after that, it's sun out, and then it's raining again. I watched lots of cricket matches, just getting cancelled, and they're just coming to the pitch. It's sunny, and then it's raining again. So yeah, it's pretty unpredictable. Pretty much unpredictable. I know, but yeah, just enjoy that. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have I think Mac. Did you play Hostel Story? I know you didn't play. I didn't mean to phrase the question that way. Brandon, did you play Hostel Story? No. Oh yeah. I think then I wouldn't like to spoil it for you, but yeah, yeah, it's finished, and we also lived through more potential deaths. Yep. Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh, yes, Mr. Brandon. Okay, yeah. Brandon, he's asking to you. I've been reading choices. I read Hostel Story a lot of times. There were lots of multiple endings, and I was sick last Sunday. I completed the Impossible game, and I'm making progress with Project Prometheus. And there's another app called Story. So there's a story called Sing for Me. I'm pretty much liking that. And in choices, I like Shipwrecked. What else? The Unexpected Heiress, and Queen Bee and Wolf Bride. No, no, yeah. First they will release Mismatch, then Slow Burn. Yeah. So fanfics. Oh wow, that's not interesting. Send me this way. Send those stories this way. All of that. You're not caught up with Wake the Dead? Okay. So you want to read it on stream? Uh, hmm, hmm, yeah, definitely. Okay, so now last week, you haven't read Hostel Story, so that pretty much leaves us with. So where do you want to start? I mean, where do you guys want to start? Do you want to start with Queen Bee or some of the both? Like, do you want? Move. Yeah, this chapter was really awesome, good. I think this chapter was as close as to the first book as it could have been, more drama, and like the whole nonsensical stuff that happens in Queen Bee universe. This chapter is everything. I felt like it's after a long time. I'm really again seeing the Queen Bee book one getting in this Queen Bee book two in this chapter 10. I liked it, and it ended with a cliffhanger. So that was interesting. Lexi. Oh, we said it at the same time. Yeah, because who else Ina knows of or Ian knows of? It's only Lexi again. It's pretty obvious. The creepy stalker who likes perfection. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. I had a feeling before the chapter started, like whether I should really go hard on Zoe from now on, as a love interest or what, because they were just pushing for perfect. Yeah, go on. What? Yeah, like I was thinking maybe in this chapter we'll be given this option to maybe choose between Zoe or Professor. I was thinking maybe I should go along with Zoe because with the Professor we've been getting more or less, like hookup scenes so far. But this was wow. I changed my mind because the way it was, I mean, she was called Professor Dreamy, and that was some dream, man. I mean, I liked the music, and I mean, personally for me, I can say no to the life the professor was dreaming of because I love those kind of ranch and just Big Sky Country is one of my favorite books. So yeah, yeah, yeah. In the last chapter, right? But I mean, the chapter before the last chapter. Yeah, that's a bit unfair. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I do understand. Like, she's a equal love interest, but the people who like Zoe, they are not getting much time with her, except when our main character is strategizing with Zoe. Then there's some sexual foreplays, but other than that, not much with Zoe. So I will agree with you on that. To be honest, I mean, I know the spoilers are out and we've been spoiled, but if I hadn't known better, I'd have said Celine. I mean, Chloe was sabotaging, or Chloe's condition was genuine, Poppy's condition was genuine, but Celine, we didn't even know, and we still don't know if Celine had those things she claimed to have for auction, and she just started crying, and people started donating for her, giving money to her fund. But probably she's no one. Who was in our posse? I don't think she could betray us. Yeah, yeah, she's like a hairstyle, like a bun on her head or something. Yeah, I don't think. She can. We have hardly seen her, to be honest. Could be. Yeah, could be. And what about? I want to know what you two think. What about Veronica? Veronica's on the book cover, but she's like MIA. I mean, we saw her, not her personality as much developed. I mean, what's up with Veronica? I mean, it, hmm, yeah. Veronica was always the party. Yeah. The person who is going to come at last in the hit list. That person. Could be. Could be. Like we don't have much information to that, I guess. It's an interesting part. Who could be X? Uh, that's a main plot right now. It's an interesting thing. Yeah, but like to track back to where were we? I like that scene, Dimension of the Professor. I think after chapter two, in the lakeside scene, after that scene, this chapter was, this scene was a scene where we really connected with the professor as a love interest. I love that did that as a in a bonding. I really love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because we had, yeah. Yeah, because you have had the hookup since a lot of times, so it's good sometimes to like unwind and to for a relationship to be more mature and successful, you need to have like this kind of a dream, so like where you're gonna be from 5 years from now. So I think that was really good, and the way it was done, like away from all the drama. And personally, for me, I mean, I as I like the life that they described there, it was really close to my heart. So I'm really glad that. Yeah. So, what really stood out for you in this chapter, both of you? What would you say is the thing that stood out for you? Seconded, seconded. What about you, Mac? Yeah, like with the auctioning, right? Uh, I get you. I get you. I get you. I get you. Yeah, but both the scenes I think were really interesting. Like the one you said, Brandon, with the professor, I liked it personally, but also the saloon one. That one. You can't just let it go. I also had a hunch feeling about it. Like, is it kind of I don't know. It seemed kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, this is getting interesting as it's coming to an end. Six more chapters to go, so let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. I don't think there's more. Yeah, 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 but yeah, yeah, but book three is like that's definitely a question for that will get answered later half. But for book two, I think it will have 16 chapters, right? Book two, 16, so six more chapters. Yeah, that's it. That's interesting. January 6th, then it will end. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I think that's Queen Bee book two. Do you have anything else to add, either of you? Any other special observations you made in this chapter? Oh, interesting. Okay, okay, so moving on. What else did you read after Queen Bee? So, Ren, what else? Okay, so Mac, Mac. Yep. Can you repeat your question from the beginning? I think that was not here for some reason, so you have to start again. I'm sorry. Hmm. Not happening. Second. I I agree on that. There were comments that were, I mean, there are two sides to the story. First side, even before the book dropped, there were complaints and concerns about too many erotic genre books, and just after Nanny Affair ended, there's Old Pride, there's other books, and now then, so there was a concern about romance sex books, and on the other hand, there was a concern when the book dropped. There were lots of critiques there before the book was released, but after the book was released, it was a different ball game. It was there was some people talking about more sex books, romance books, but even the people who liked romance books or sex books, or they even played some of the sex stories, like we played Honeywood. But that was what they had there. It some people felt like that was like a predatory and not safe, and most of all, the BDSM community. Some people said it does not represent the BDSM community really well, and it was at some point they felt a, not a good representation. They didn't have the proper facts or how it's actually done, and it ended up being just a comedy. So that's what I think of a fair criticism, because I don't think choices who wrote or how they did, they have enough information about it. I certainly don't have any knowledge about it. But if there's concern, and I have read the comments personally, and these particular comments, they were really fair, saying like this is not the proper representation. I think in that case, choices. I know the people who work for the team, maybe they don't have any idea about the BDSM, but they should clarify it in their socials, like do a Q&A, like communicate like why it's happening. Otherwise it doesn't make sense why you put out the social media, you update them. I think that was a valid point, because critique is a critique. With swearing is not good, but in a respectful way, they can. Someone said the diversity in covers, the diversity in trailers. I think there are a lot of critiques, and I agree that choices does need to get at those. And even if some are really rude at some point, but I believe, like, as a company who wants to make progress, they need to see what's happening. Like, they need to go through and just bleep out those insults and see if there is anything valuable there. Otherwise, just filter everything out and don't use it. So I would say, like, reply to everything as much as possible. Not they, yeah, not they, but take the questions to the team, and then put another blog post answering those questions or something. I think that would be really helpful. They do that, but they do that with some genuine queries, or some fans asking, but they really need to answer to some critiques or criticism in this case. That would make it even choices better, I guess. A lot of people like it. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, I would double down on that. There is a guy I watch. I mean, yeah. Uh,
Hello?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Just wait. Let me send it to Brandon. Yep. Let's just wait for him to join, and then we'll continue. What happened? It cut off. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So Matt was saying something. Continue. I will join those. Don't worry.
I
Do you
have no
remember
clue.
what you? I'm sorry for that it cut off, but do you remember what was
Nope.
the last thing you said?
Nope. And I can't. I just can't be bothered to say.
Okay, so I will just just to continue on what Brandon said. Yeah, I mean I agree. Like there could be hateful things, maybe, but sometimes there are some questions inside the hate, and I know like I'm not defending those people being hateful, but the example I think because like I said, they're a company and they need to get the feedback out of everyone by not when you're a company then or you're someone who is taking questions you can make people look fool who are trying to be fooled by being hateful by just being respectful to them and just showing them like hey in not telling them like being rude like in a way because there's this one YouTuber called David Pacman. Like, he genuinely doesn't receive only good phone calls, but he takes phone calls from his critiques who calls him from like really bad stuff in a did swear words told me that, but he and like, it's not a way I will agree with you, Brandon. It's not a way. It's so even if someone is using head red, even though if just side note, I didn't see a single like I personally skimmed through the comments. I didn't see a single swear word in those comments. They were upset, but there were no swear words or rudeness as far as I saw. But even for the ones I would say like that was a really good thing. I think this YouTuber David Pacman did when I really looked after him. So I think you can make people look foolish like that, and as a company it's I think it's something they should do or like he had also he was also a brand so people had called him but he just showed like a Uno reverse card like I don't care about your hate but I will tell you in a good way if you have a valid point or I'll just show in front of everyone like what kind of hatred you were showing it's just pretty simple there. But I think I get the point that it's impossible sometimes to reply to everyone, and specifically when these are not the right. But at least take these questions with the names also, so and they can ask their writers or whoever on the team to answer them and post it in a somewhere. So that would be really good. That would have more clarity, I guess, because in these Instagram posts, people ask some legit good questions sometimes who don't even appear on anywhere. Like have more information regarding choices. Maybe they don't have. We have to see that part too. Maybe they don't know there's a blog post or something like that.
Yeah, it's just I guess at the end of the day, just if you there's a difference between criticism and having an opinion and spreading that opinion, than just blatant, just throwing out blatant hate. Just approach it in a respectable manner. There's no need to go all out on them. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
they're just writers doing a job. It's
Yeah, like I
unnecessary.
said, you can't change people, but you can do what you can do. So I would urge choices like it's never possible to just suppress all the hates. Like there's going to be that, but from this choices perspective, I think that's what they should do. I mean, I understand what you're saying. I 100% agree with you. But I'm just trying to say how we can solve the situation. We can't wait when everyone's going to be respectful. That's never going to happen. But I think this is where, and like I keeping on saying, I didn't see a single hit right there. No swear words. They were like genuine concerns and genuine messages. I skimmed through like 40 or 50 messages. There were no swear words. There were proper discussions, and some of them are genuine nice person. I personally know them also.
No, yeah, definitely. But again, it just comes down to the have a respectable opinion and just be respectable about the whole thing. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are doing the best. Yeah, they might not get everything bang on, but last I checked, nobody's perfect. Nothing's perfect. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
speak how you want to be spoken to.
Yeah, that's for sure. But the thing is that you can also give criticism, right? Because specifically for writing and stuff, when in literature, when you write a story, there are also a lot of critiques. Like some people say, for a movie, imagine like there are critiques of a movie, like this movie is not a good. I mean, of course, the director, the cast did the good job, and I think you can compare the movie cast directly. There are movies that get bad reviews, good reviews. Just imagine that way, like we can say like, yeah, this is not a good thing. Like everybody puts their effort, but it's just a review. And I think that also sometimes help them understand what is working, what is not working. Yeah, sometimes it's just blatant complaint, but sometimes you can get a perspective as a writer. I know if they're an artist like who are writing this, so they can get a point of view also if they are shown this by the team, like, hey, you are my writer, I have these comments from this, like go through this. I know it's hard sometimes to see like people not accepting your work, but I would say a good creator or good writer is that who is never happy with his work or her work or their work and is always ready, open to, um, like I said, David Pacman, open to criticism, and it's going to take the positive from everything, and we'll try to develop, even if it's the best work. So I would just say that.
Yeah, definitely. Just comes down to accepting and yeah, it just comes down to it. I honestly can't even say anything anymore. It just comes down to accepting it.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
just
there's definitely gonna be respect. Like I wouldn't teach anyone like not to be respectful. Like I would personally, I would always want myself to be respectful in other one. So I'm definitely 100% there. But I just had this thought, like like this is something. But yeah, I do see where you're coming from. But it's just like I thought of this way. Yeah, you go on.
yeah.
Yep. So that's it. But what other issues did you feel after saying? I mean, like I said, I don't really know about the BDSM community. The one thing they said, like the BDSM community, it's not probably like that, or like it's not the good representation. And second thing they said, like in we have had in many other books, and it's nothing different than any other books. Like a pretty fast love interest, main character, rushed romance or rushed whatever that thing between them is. And third thing is that the pattern of relationship, a taboo between the main character and love interest, it's not new, like the positioning of them. So what do you like, there is a little lack of uniqueness in that relationship, but yeah, definitely what they didn't make up in that, they made up for that, lack of uniqueness in unique plot. I mean, not plot, what I'm saying, unique gameplay that you get to play from your love interest point of view, which has never happened in any other books. So that's a really good plus point. But how would you say about these three things? First thing, like representation of BDSM community, and second thing is a rushed relationship between MC and the love interest or whatever that is between them. And the third thing is that the same MC love interest position, like a higher position or something, like a little, that we have had before also. So yeah, you go on.
Uh, like I said, I don't know much about the BDSM community myself, but I mean, truth be told, they talk about it not being accurate representation. It's like last I checked, one thing I do know is BDSM is, well, it's a lot. It's BDSM for Christ's sakes. I highly doubt they're going to go full on and just make a full on pornographic book story about it, are they? So it's like obviously they're gonna make things some like they're not gonna make it full on. Maybe they didn't look into too much of it. Maybe they did. But like I said, it's BDSM. There's a lot that goes into it. So they don't wanna obviously go too far. And obviously at most points they want to be they want to look at certain things. I mean, last I checked, they do good at looking into things. I mean, look at the unexpected errors. They did a lot of. They looked into a lot of historic facts for that story, and that was really good. So it's not a case of they can't.
This is super awesome. Except I think in that book, like in old days, Mumbai was had a different name, and Kolkata, this city, had a different name. Except these two things, they did a spot on research. I don't even know how they did that, but that book was like, it's even sometimes better than your history book. Like, except those two things, they got everything so in detailed manner and in everything. Like, I gotta respect the writers of that team for like, and whoever was worked on that. Like, hats off.
Yeah, so that's a perfect example of them doing job research. So again, it doesn't come down to them not doing a good job of research. It might just be the fact of this is BDSM. It's not exactly a fact. It's not exactly a safe for work subject to talk about and describe. So there's obviously some things we've got to keep an eye out for, especially with YouTube as well. Like people posting the chapter on YouTube and then getting taken down due to their policies getting stricter and more stupider. We've already had plenty of examples of that.
Okay. Well,
I mean, just that's all it comes down to. I mean, I think like I said, don't judge a book instantly by its cover. I mean, it's still early, first 2 chapters. I mean, I'll admit the relationship was kind of rushed. I mean, but in a case at this point in the real world with certain people, who knows? Maybe certain things could be rushed.
Yeah. What about the third one? The same positioning of MCLI.
I like that. Oh, the positioning. Oh, you mean the swapping of point of views?
No. That's unique. That's unique. No, I'm not saying that. Like, we have a lot of love interest in a higher position or in a taboo position. Like we have at Sam. We forget about Sam. We since the days of Open Heart, Ethan Ramsey, Gabe. When we have a lot of boss or a rich someone who's a love interest and helping us something, like, what I mean. Yeah, so that thing not being a change even in here, like a kind of lack of uniqueness in terms of like states. Oh, I don't know. I described it right. I hope you understand.
Yes, I'm not too sure. Like, I guess that's interesting at least, but on that, I'm not too sure.
Okay. All right. So, go. Mac, 3 questions. Do you remember the questions, and do I need to spell it to you again?
Yes, I think you will, to be honest.
Oh yeah. So first one. So the first one was like the BDSM community representation. What would you have to say about that?
No comment.
No comment. Okay. Second one. What was that? Yeah. Rushed romance or rushed relationship, sexual tension, or whatever that is between them.
Look, I know sometimes I do like obviously speak my mind, and obviously I know that's not a very good thing and stuff like that. But I do honestly, no, being truthful now, being serious, and I apologise for hitting out at anybody if I hurt anybody. But to be honest, I still felt it was a little bit rushed. Like, who in the right mind? The love interest. I think what annoyed me the most is when you were playing in his POV, the fact that he was more bothered about messaging us, the main character, asking what we're going to do to her and everything, but more than actually helping her with the case of what. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more bothered about. Well, in my say, I'll take him because I played as a guy as the love interest. So I think it would be stupid that he was more bothered about asking what he'd do to us than actually helping us.
In that case, he is or she is, as far as we know, I can understand why they've been quite cocky. It's because of where they are. Like they're a skilled, very skilled lawyer. They're the best. I think it just says that they're one of the best lawyers. So and you saw how they were acting in the conference room. They weren't worried. They weren't scared. I mean, they were a bit unprofessional, but obviously because they've been through this, they know what they're doing. So and they know that they've got a strong case. So at this point, it's as if they don't even need to try on the case.
No, but can I actually have an opinion now? Can I actually have an opinion without somebody commenting on it? Yeah. The third point, go on. What was it again?
So what?
What was the third question?
Third question?
Yes, they said the three questions you said you were going to ask.
Okay. Just let me think. What was it? What was it, Brandon? I said it was BDSM
BDSM
community.
representation.
Yeah. Rushed. Oh yeah, the positioning, the MCLI positioning, like it's not positioning. Like the status or like
the boss.
Yeah, like boss or like someone rich, in a high, or at least has a higher position than the love interest. I mean, it has been done in even non-smart books, like Open Heart. Like it's been going on for a long time in choices. There's no change. So, what would you have to say to that point?
Well, the writers can do what they want, can't they? They can do what they want, really. So, I mean, if that's what sells and that's what people like, then that's what people like, isn't it? Really. But yeah, it is getting a bit repetitive. But obviously, if that's what people like, then that's what people like.
Yeah. Also, three more questions I still have. Like, first one, I personally felt this way. I know, like I said, it's different from everyone's perspective. So I would like to know what you two's perspective are on this one. I personally, when I thought about it, felt like, if something happened to me like that, if my partner cheated on me, like I am walking into my apartment, I'm seeing whipping sound, and I'm seeing, my partner is getting dominated by a dominatrix or whatever, like in a way, with handcuffs and stuff. And then the thing that if I go to a lawyer, I'll be in a pretty mentally disturbed state. My mental state will be pretty damned. And then if instantly, right at the moment, the lawyer tells me like, "Do you want to explore it in a way?" I mean, won't that, sort of give rise to some negative thoughts and some bad memories inside us, and the whole situation will be uncomfortable? Like, was it the best possible way this could have started? Because I feel like it's kind of for like I said, personally, I feel like it's not. I'm not really gonna be uncomfortable. I'm not really gonna be comfortable with this, and it will feel uncomfortable and pretty damning from time. So that's what I thought. I just wonder what you guys thought about it. What's your perspective? Come on.
Well, truth be told, I mean, I guess, I guess you could look at it from a revenge point of view. I mean, your partner's just done that. You kind of want a bit of payback, but also it's something that, might actually be interesting to you. So, I mean, and then, of course, the lawyer's very open. I suppose in a way, it's interesting because, I mean, like I said, the lawyer's open, so it's like, what are the odds you're going to find that much of an open person, in a way? So I guess with MC, she just kind of took a chance. It's like, this is an interesting thing. Yes, I've been cheated on, but I kind of want to maybe get back at him or her, but also explore this. And then it's like, my lawyer just so happens to be very open about this. It's like, I think with BDSM as well, it's a very it can be very touchy with certain people. So it's like, to find someone open and willing with all that stuff, it's like, it can be tough. So I think in a way she just took a chance, and is kind of exploring this whilst maybe finding someone better than the partner, getting over it. It's like, maybe it's a different way to get over it. I mean, everyone has their own ways of healing and getting over things. I guess especially MCs.
Yeah. So you mean like getting revenge or healing, right?
Yeah, or like taking him out of it, because like some people spend time grieving and just wasting time over things, and it's like,
I see what you mean.
You need to move on and get over.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So it's like,
That's
move
an
on.
interesting point of view. That's an interesting point of view there. Yeah, I didn't think of that way. Definitely, like, yeah. Moving on. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like, so yeah, that's also right. I guess, and like sometimes you have a bad experience, and you want to, like, it's like when life throws lemon at you, and you make lemonade out of it, and something like that, the oranges at you. And yeah, so I guess you have a point there. Yeah, sometimes like you just don't want to let it press on you, and just yeah, so that makes sense. It's an interesting point of view. What about you, Mac? What do you think?
No
What's your
comment.
thought? Okay. All right. So there was another thing. Let me think. Yeah. Two more things. First thing, I think we've talked about it. Okay. Let's save it for later. But there's some concern. That Reagan, the love interest, a bit predatory, and is coming on to us too fast and too roughly. And truth to be told, that is it, or did some? Yeah, that's it. So, what would you say to that?
Uh,
Your
I will
thoughts?
admit, the Reagan, or I'll say it's called Reagan. I've called it something different. Uh, they are,
The love interest. The love interest.
yeah,
I don't want to ruin the
yeah,
image for you.
they
Love interest.
they're very forward. I won't say stalker. I mean, because the stalker would mean that they literally follow and do all sorts of things. But it's like both with
Yeah,
the
not
right wording.
stalk.
It's like
Yeah, like coming too hard or predatory. That's these are the
yeah,
two
but
words that were used.
yeah, predatory though. That I don't see why that would come into play. It's like why would it be predatory? I mean, it's just yeah, they're being very forward and very sexual, but that doesn't make it predatory. Predatory means it's like again like going full stalker mode, getting right in like following, doing all sorts of creepy things. I mean, it's like people say predatory and stalkerish. It's like that's not that's not the definition of what's happening. They're just being very forward and very sexual, being a bit open, and it's like that can be uncomfortable for some people, but they can always just say no. Whereas the MC has been interested in this case and is saying yes.
That's an interesting point of view. And
Uh,
that's you define the predatory. Did you say by the coming too hard on us, or like, what was it? I think that was a term that was used. Like it's coming off to us a bit too hard, or like too a bit too dominant.
hmm.
That was the second term.
Yeah, dominant, but like I said, not bloody predatory or stalkerish. That's just people taking it to a whole new not to a whole new thing for nothing.
Oh yeah, like the predator is like the second term. Like there was also a term used like coming on us a bit too hard. Like he's coming off a bit too pushy and a bit too dominative. Like in terms of, I don't think it was meant in terms of like sexual domination, but I think like, I don't know, like probably the initiation. If you know what I mean.
Pardon me.
Yeah, it's just it's like don't. I guess people just take things and exaggerate way too much and take things out of context a bit. And it's like there's not really any need for it.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now let's see. Okay, Mac. Yeah, do you have
No
anything to add to
comment.
that? Oh yeah, we're not paparazzi, by the way. I'm not paparazzi. Yeah. Okay. What else? I know you have to say something to this at least. There's this concern. Why the hell, or why this particular? I understood for Nanny Affair that the motherly love. It was if you had to do it in a fatherly love way or something, that would have been different writing style and a lot of other hassle with that. But why the hell it was gender locked? I mean, why
But the
it
nanny
was
affair
locked?
or surrender or both.
Huh?
Gender
What?
locked. Which book you talking about being gender locked?
Oh, I said the nanny affair. I can
Oh,
understand why it's gender locked, but why the hell surrender is gender locked? I said, and at a
I
time when
guess
we have this promise that we will work on more diversity and gender of choices books. What do you have to say to that?
The first thought that comes to mind is it's easier to write from the female's perspective, but then of course we've got the male
Yeah, we do
being
have that.
submissive on the
Exactly.
other side, so it's like
Dominative.
yeah, being dominated. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I think it's just I don't know, I really don't know. I could not
A-
tell you.
Anything to add, Mac?
What was that? Sorry.
Why the hell it was needed to be gender customizable? I'm sorry, gender
Gender
locked.
locked.
I was going to
And
say.
by the way, I'm just quoting words from some of the critiques, so it's not like I'm adding this. Okay, so I want this as
No,
close to the original as possible.
I
I
can
want this.
actually, I can actually agree with Brandon on that. To be fair, it is easier to write from a woman's point of view. Is
But
there
they
anything
do,
else?
but they do shift to female and male point of view depending on who your love interest is, right? And even from dominative side.
Yes, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, then why not a female male love interest? So what do you think that is?
I don't know. It's like Brandon said to me. I think that's the most plausible option. It's easier to write from a female's point of view.
Hmm. Interesting. I personally thought like it's probably because it's easy to ride, but then there was also like the POV change, which is a pretty unique playthrough in choices, never have been done before. It's kind of shocked why it was like that, but oh well. Okay, so uh, what else? Let's say. Yep, I don't think anything else is the here. Nope, nothing. Do you have anything else to add about the surrender first two chapters? Either of you?
Nope,
Nope.
not bad though.
Nope. Neither of us.
Okay. Alright, so let's see what else we have here. Um, yeah, yeah. So I was sent a post by someone, to look into this. It seems like the way it is, the choices calendar. I think they pretty much started going full on the romance books or kind of hard mature books. But I think it's going to settle because before the VIP new VIP schedule they released, they had kind of a disbalance between these books. But I think after 6 or 7 months it can settle, or after 1 year, because if you see, I didn't know that it's a power player sent me this through email. It definitely credit goes to him. It says since the release of Shipwrecked, they're alternating. Like before it was done, there was a lot of like a very scandalous proposal, which is a romance book. Then we have Queen Bee, which is also a mature book, but that has a decent plot. We have Shipwreck, which is also another romance book, and then the Nanny Affair was there. The Now Surrender. So at this moment, especially for non-VIB players, it seems like, and that's why there are so many people complaining about this. And I understand that because at this point, it feels we're barely reading anything a good plot book other than the unexpected errors or wake the dead, which is not out for us yet. So other than the unexpected errors or Queen Bee, partial, semi, and shipwreck kind of in the middle, we don't have much books to enjoy. So I think that's a problem. But there's a way I think it can solve, because the list power player sent me, it was since the choice's VIP release, Shipwrecked was the first book, a mature book. Then they released next month, uh, August, September. No, nothing on. And yes, and on September I think it was released, and on October they released Wake the Dead, an adventure book. Then Surrender, and then The Crimes of Passion. So I think this problem is going to be balanced out after 6 or 7 months. That was just the list, and it also states here that there is a apparent balance, but it doesn't seem so, because
Hmm.
I think especially for non-VIB players like us, it's really hard to find any good book other than the unexpected errors or Queen Bee partially, and Shipwreck partially. But I think we have Wake the Dead, we have Crimes of Passion coming up. I think it's gonna get balanced out. But that was pretty interesting, especially for non VIPs. It's the worst condition. So what do you have to say? This is a pretty interesting thought I looked into recently. What do you two have to say?
I mean, it does suck, but I mean, well, yeah, it kind of does suck that the VIP players are on these kind of time frames. But I mean, it's like they're not as delayed. These new books that are coming out and being like brought out, like Wait the Dead, Surrender, their time frames aren't as long as other VIP books have that have been out. So like, other VIP books have been out for way longer, and they're still only not coming out. So it's like, you know, they've got shorter time frames, so at least they don't have to wait as long as all the other books that have been in VIP for God knows how long.
Yeah, but about the alternating things they're doing, as it seems so far, it's too early to tell, definitely. But that's just a, primary observation so far I can understand by this power player. But what it seems like, I think they're going to maintain this one steamy book, one adventure book. Do you think this is going to continue? And I think this doesn't solve the issue as of right now because, like I said, there are. I'm sure you're right. Like I understand because after 2 months, the non VIPs get the VIP books. But the problem is there are already lots of VIP books that are not out, and the ones that are out pretty much romance books and still mismatch is going to come out, so that's not going to solve the problem either. That's why I said like after 6 or 7 months, maybe this issue is going to be solved if they keep on going with this tagline. I mean, one romance, one adventure, and not two romances back to back. So far, they're doing good. Shipwreck, and then they balanced out with Wake the Dead. They release Surrender. They're gonna work it out at balance it out at Crimes of Passion. So, do you see any similarity there? Like, what I
Yeah,
mean?
there's a bit of a similarity there, but I mean it could be worse. I mean, it could be worse, but yeah, like I said, I don't think it solves the problem. They still, I mean, yeah, they still need to bring out different genres. Like, how long has it been since we've had a good horror
Yeah.
or like horror type story?
Oh,
It's been a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, so we've had It Lives, we've had Bloodbound. I should hope Bloodbound would count as horror, but it was still Nightbound in a way.
I would say the
These amazing books.
haunting of
Bearwood
Buried
Manor.
Manor was the
Yeah.
best. Yeah,
So
that
it's
was a
like,
good horror book.
can we have some more? Can we? Yeah, there is a thing for saying we would like some new genres, but there's also nothing wrong with us, being able to enjoy and have some more of the old genres.
Yeah, it will be good. And also sports genre that hasn't been touched, and I fear there won't be because I think it's too, sometimes the perspective that they go through. I don't think it's going to come anytime sooner.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
So,
but like I said, it's like new genres are cool and all. It's nice to them to bring up new genres, but don't forget the old genres that people still like. Like there's still a lot to be done for sci-fi.
oh yeah,
Oh,
they're heartbroken about across the void. They could have done a lot with that. Endless Summer is also I think kind of sci-fi. So yeah, I'm a fan of sci-fi. Prometheus, I'm liking it by the way in Dreams on Project Prometheus. So yeah, I would love sci-fi books.
yeah.
And there's plenty they can do.
Interesting. Yeah, there is planning. There is. Mac, anything you want to add to that observation by
Um,
Power Player?
I actually don't, to be honest with you. I really don't.
So, speaking of new genres, you said sci-fi. But if I tell you the top five genres you would like to see, because we're almost at the end of this year, one more month to go, and choices haven't released anything, a plan of genres or what is going to happen yet. Next month they will probably do it by the end of December. But so far we have time to speculate. So, what would you say are a few genres you're excited to see next year, or you'll be willing? I mean, you don't have to be, tactical about it, but you can just say even if they don't release in next 2 years. But what is your desire? Like, what genre would you like? Top 5 or 6 genres. Go on. Yeah. Like, did you not think of it?
No, it's hard to think because there's a difference between what you want, what not you, but what a person wants, and then what everybody else wants. So for me
Oh no, no, no.
personally,
Like I said, it's personal. Like I said,
oh, right, I thought
it
you
may
meant what
not.
a joke. Sorry, I thought you meant everybody. For my opinion, I'd want more horror, sci-fi.
Yeah, I just say like even if it doesn't eventually end up being released in 2 years. Okay, like it may not be released in 2 years. Like for I'll go first. Like for instance, I love sports genre, and I have already admitted I don't think a main character being a Super Bowl champion or something is going to happen, or a soccer champion is going to happen in a recent time. But I would love for them to do uh, um, sports genre, a someone, a time traveler from 1,000 years ago coming to life in modern time and is learning and getting accustomed to the new world and how everything, it will be super funny and adventurous. Hordes of enemy are also coming out, and an ordinary main character learning how to be someone's old prince or princess's savior or something. That genre would be super awesome. Horror genre, I would love something like It Lives, and adventure more like Endless Summer, time travel books. And then I would love more in terms of mystery books of
Yep,
period, like The
yep,
Unexpected Heirs, which was super awesome. So if
yeah.
these five or six
Sorry,
genres are,
there's
and
one
also,
book
yeah.
I think you'd love. It's on episode, and it is called Operation Quarterback.
Oh, I've read that one. I love that one.
What? Honestly,
Yeah,
one of the best.
the
Honestly,
Undercover Agent.
sorry. Honestly, that is one of the best books on episode, and I agree with Brandon. He read it first, and he got me into it, and I thought he said it were a good book. I thought, well, be a bit wary on it. But when I saw it, I thought it was just going to be a good. I thought it wasn't going to be very good. But honestly, wow, what a book that is! It's got mystery. Mystery. I won't say mystery. Sorry, that's the wrong word. It's got sports and honestly, it's a couple of weeks since I played it. Brandon will
Drama?
probably tell you.
Drama,
Yeah,
I
sorry,
guess.
drama. What a honestly, you need to read that book. It is so good.
I will do. I think I
There's a lot
started the
more into it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an undercover agent who loses their partner and then tries to save some, senator's son or
Daughter.
daughter who are like,
Or
right?
son. Yeah. Senator's daughter or son, but falls in love with them.
Yeah,
I liked the ending as well in a way. The ending was really kind of unique. It wasn't straight into what would be the usual,
yeah,
ending. It had some stops in it, but it was really good. I quite liked it.
yep.
Yeah, I would give it a try. I mean, I have started it, but a long time ago, but I kind of stopped. So, but I'll definitely this time give it a try. But yeah, depending on the genres, yeah, those five genres and something with like a good like what they have in Shipwreck, but with multiple allies and something, or a good romance books where they actually sort of navigate the sexuality of it with the gender customizable main character, like how it's done, like if the main character is unable to choose between their lovers or something, like some difficult stuff is happening, so exploring that will be really awesome. But these five or six genres I would like to see in the future. What about you?
I'll let you go first.
Wait, who?
Huh?
Who's doing it?
Wait, I'll let Brandon go first.
Yeah, Brandon, go.
Uh,
Let's go, Brandon.
Definitely more sci-fi. I want to say horror, but not just horror. I want to see like some kind of like dark horror. Like I want it to go really deep. Like, and not necessarily with a happy ending, because I know a lot of people like happy. I mean, I like happy endings, and most books do go on happy endings. But just a dark horror with some deep, like maybe deep emotions or something, deep story, and just go straight into it. What else? Maybe some more action ones. A few more action ones. Like in Dreamstone, we've got quite a cool set of military ones or super soldier type ones. Like Hostel Story, you're a soldier or an ex-soldier, and you're doing all sorts of cool stuff like fighting and all sorts. That's my kind of perfect genre. Like I love
Yep.
soldiers, super soldiers, stuff like that. And I I remember when I looked at Witness, and I was like, the only reason I read it is because I thought it was going to be actiony with the bodyguard romance. You know, I was like, bodyguard, oh, it's bodyguard. You know, read the first chapter, oh, he's a marshal. She's a marshal. That's going to be kind of cool. But there wasn't that much action, to be honest. So I was kind of disappointed by the action, really. I mean, there were some action scenes that were good, but there wasn't much of it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'd like to see a bit more action genre. You know, change it up a bit.
Yeah.
What else? I think
Ooh.
maybe a few more high school genres. Like obviously we had Operation on Quarterback in episodes. Something cool like that.
That's interesting.
You know, like something kind of cool. Maybe not exactly undercover agent type, but something like a unique and maybe different high school type story. Like we've got Queen Bee.
Like Hostel Story Book 1.
Yeah, kind of. I like that one. You know, you're undercover. You were in a really nice country. Like, honestly, God, the art scenes on that first book for Rome were absolutely amazing. I loved it.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
a
like
dream book.
you know, stuff like that. You go through and you want to like action adventure. Those ones. You know, like proper, going proper into it. You know, giving you that bit of feel, maybe a bit of realism in a way, even though it's nowhere near realistic. But you know, just that feel, thrill of it. Like I always felt they always give me a sense of thrill when I played them. So I always enjoyed them.
I agree.
But yeah, and then so what's fun? And I've done horror, sci-fi, action. What else we got? High school, yeah. One more. Ooh, let's think. I guess I could go with. Ooh, I was gonna say crime, but yeah, crime, but like a story about maybe action, maybe crime. Well, obviously maybe crime, but obviously that ties in with the action. Maybe, but but where you actually a villain instead of a good guy. Like more in every instance, more case you're the good guy or you're the main hero. It's like why not change that up? Maybe go into a crime-ish story, like maybe a crime lord, and play it as a bad guy. Not the usual. Not the like. What was it? Not the Star Wars Battlefront 2, where you finally got to play as an Imperial, and then finally just get thrown back onto the Rebel side. A full-on story where you get to play as the antagonist, where you are the antagonist, and just go on from there. Like maybe you are the son or daughter of a wealthy villain, maybe a crime lord. You take over. Maybe the love interest turns out to be a rival gang. You join together, stuff like that. You know, but like a story, maybe crime. Well, most actually,
Gang,
crime. I like Road Gang, yeah. But yeah, like I said, where you're not the good guy, where you play as an antagonist. I think a few more books where you are the antagonist and where you're the main bad guy would actually be a bit more thrilling. Like being the good guy is cool and all, but seeing it from the other perspective is just be interesting.
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah, something like the heist monarch, like the gang leader.
Yeah. Gang leader, maybe one of the maybe the gang leader's son or something. Maybe one of their best soldiers. Who knows?
Yeah, mafia boss.
Oh, or maybe like crime. Maybe you're in a drug cartel. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I found drug cartels actually quite interesting as well. Don't ask why, but yeah.
No. Tell us why. Tell us why.
When you think about it, there's a lot more that goes into it apart from just making drugs and drug smuggling. It's like in certain cartels, it's like they teach them like like there's more than meets the eye. That's all I'll say. And that's it with everything. It's not just they're not just about drugs. There's all different types of stories about cartels. Like you might have one where it's a family business, might be some turmoil, might be some family drama. You don't know what's going inside the cartel. Because on the outside, it just looks like a cartel all working together, merry and happy, doing the job. And if they don't do it right, then dead. But it's like there's a lot more that goes into the inner makings of a cartel and the stories of them. So it's like it'd be good to explore those. And if it's in a crime book where you're like as the bad guy, I think that'd be quite interesting.
I'm happy. I'll be happy to read those books. You have a pretty good idea there. like specifically the last ones you mentioned. I don't think we have those kind of books in any other app stores. We don't have read much. We only have as close to as those get. You know, we have read the Highest Monaco and Rock Gang. These are the books that get as close as to that topic as possible. But actually, a book like that you mentioned, I would I would pay for them to make the kind of book. That
Yep.
just sounds super awesome.
I just think a bit of villainy would spice things up a bit.
Yep.
And in crime, you can do a lot with villainy and crime. Action, like military, evil warlord, or evil soldier, and then, of course, crime, gang boss, all sorts you can do with villainy.
Yeah, gang leader, definitely.
Mm. Like, if you're a gang leader, maybe actually make a, like, 'cause one thing we know is choices is, it's about choices. Maybe make a book where you're the gang leader, but the choices, like, because you're the leader, you have to make serious choices. So have those choices, have a big, have an actual impact.
Yeah,
Or if it like surrender. I like how they've done with that. Not surrender, sorry. Wait the Dead. This isn't technically spoiling. In there, they have a system where you have two choices in certain entracts, and you can only do one or the other, and both have different actions and like both have different, results and different consequences, and you have to stick by those, and they can possibly affect the story further on, whether it's long term or just like certain people. Which I like that they've done that. I wish they would do something with that with an action book. It's like those choices have some kind of meaning because it can change some different outcomes. Different. But that's obviously that's for Wait the Dead, but still, it's like I like what they've done with that. I like how they've done that system. I think it's really good. It's like you do one thing, but obviously something else can be at stake or what. Who knows? There's all sorts.
Oh yeah.
definitely. I mean, maybe your choices because yeah, like you said, the app's name is Choices, and we have talked about this before. Like maybe give us actual choice that will have lasting impacts and not just a default, outcome or a default ending every single reader is going to unlock. So maybe depending on what kind of gang leader you choose to be, you can either help the government or help certain police department, or you can just go against them, join some big armies, or like maybe do all sorts of things with that. It would be just amazing. Like we'll all be talking about, hey, what ending did you choose? Hey, what ending did you
Yeah,
choose? I know
it'll
it's
be
a
it.
lot of work to put in, but
That's
it'll
one
be super
thing.
awesome.
That is one. When she said it, it's like one thing is like someone asked, "Why do you watch other people play choices?" It's like you want to know what their you want to know what their choices were. You want to know their different, their opinions, and see what happens in their story. See the differences. It's like
Exactly. Yeah, and last time it happened, I think for me it was when I recently played in June or in around that month, May June period, Endless Summer. And when I ended the book, there were three or four choices. So I chose one route, that is to stay on the island, which is pretty emotional. But I then went to a videos channel, and then I went watched the other two. What happened, and I just watched the comments. Those were heartwarming. To like, it was a nostalgia, and just it was super exciting. I mean, I was pretty revved up by that. I mean, wow, it's just super interesting when you have different endings to unlock, and then you actually see what would have happened if you have chosen that ending. It seems like everybody had their own story, even though they played the same book. So it's just it becomes a truly interactive experience.
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing you always love. It's like Choices Anonymous. I love seeing her like. Like I think if we had different she always gives good recaps as well of like current stories as well. Like I love how like, seeing how she recaps the stories, but it's also like imagine I know that it'd be interesting to see her with her choices because like she'd have a lot of different choices to other people. So it'd be like you can see different perspectives. So it's like she would give, she would describe, and she would show, her choices and what they led to. So I think in that aspect, she'd be pretty good to see what she actually put on hers. Like it's like you got something different, and oh, she's got something different because she explains things really well as well. So it's like it'd be very good to understand.
I hope they do come up with these genres in one app or the other. I would love to see them. I'm excited now. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. So Mac, what about your 5 or 6?
Yeah, yeah, sorry about this. The bloody plane's going off in my house, so you just have to give me a couple seconds.
Yeah, no
Sorry.
worries. How
I
about a
hate living
book?
next to an
Where you,
I'm sorry, I hate living next to an airport.
yeah, what about a book? It just reminded me where we're a pilot and the plane gets hijacked and the whole book is about how we save everyone. That would be super awesome.
That's interesting.
Snakes on a plane.
Wait,
Sorry,
snakes on a plane?
sorry that book just coming to me. That movie just came into my head for some strange reason.
I
That,
love
that
that
was a
movie.
that was a good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. That was a good
Yeah.
movie. Snakes on
I
a
wonder
plane.
why.
It was something. It was something different, and that's the thing.
Sorry.
It was different.
I'm not
You know
taking
what?
the mess of anybody. I'm just saying. Like I remember some scenes very vividly. But yeah, for me, horror, action. I don't actually know. To me, I can only name two: action and horror. If I'm really honest, and sorry, three probably crime. Actually, probably four now. Thinking of it, like where you can, like Brandon said, where you can actually play the villain. Yes, it's all good playing as the good guy all the time, but like it'd be nice to have just things different. Like as well, like sorry, that's what Brandon said as well. Like, have bad endings. Like, it's nice to have a happy ending, but it gets a bit repetitive and it's a bit annoying. You see, as well to add on what you said as well, what Brandon said as well, and you said with the choices as well. That where choices, I know it's not a book, but I would suggest more stuff like this. Where your choices actually make a difference per se. Like I'm not spoiling like Wait the Dead, but you do have to make some very, very wow choices in that book, and I just wish more books